Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, students? I hope that you're all fine. Inshallah, in this video, I'm going to read and explain the exercises that are in your activity book, pages 35 and 36. And we are going to deal only with the vocabulary exercises in these two pages in this video. So please open your books, pages 35, okay? And let's start reading and explaining the exercises. The first exercise here is the vocabulary one, number 1. So it's exercise number 1. Complete the following paragraph about biofuels with the words from the box. One word is not needed. So we have a box here with some words, okay? One word of them is not needed. So one word of them is not correct. We are not going to use it. Okay, so we have to first to know the meanings or recall the meanings of all of them. Okay, and then fill in the blanks with the correct words. Okay, so now let's start with the first word, which is title. Title means what? If you remember, means اللي هي المد والجزر. Okay? Abundant اللي هي have or with large amounts, right? اللي هي بكميات كبيرة. Derived, something that comes from something else اللي هو يشتق من. Worldwide, okay, اللي هي مثلا اللي هي بشكل عالمي أو حول العالم أو بشكل واسع في العالم. Biofuels, biofuels اللي هو عندكم عفوا اللي هو الوقود العضوي. نعم. okay. Primary, which means essential, أساسي. Okay, so we have all known these vocabulary before. Let's just now try to write them in the correct blanks or in the correct spaces. Now, number 1. Are fuels that are fuels. They are fuels. What are these fuels that it's talking about? It talks about what? Which word here shows us the correct word that we are using as fuels? It's what? Of course, biofuels. So number 1 is biofuels. Okay? تمام? So biofuels are fuels that are from living matter. What is the sentence that you remember that we have explained before? It's the same of this one, from living matter. And it's a meaning for something or for a word, okay? Here we have to write what? Derived. First of all, that we have are, which needs after it verb 3 because it's a passive voice. And the only verb here that we have is derived. Okay, so they are what? That they are derived. So number 2 is going to be derived. Okay? Including plant material and animal waste. There's a difference between biofuels, which are used for heating and electricity production, and secondary biofuels, which are used in the vehicles and industry. We have mentioned here secondary, okay? And first they said what? There's a difference, اختلاف, between a type of this fuel and the secondary fuels. Which one is correct here? Which word is correct? Let's just cross the ones that we have used. We have title, abundant, primary, and worldwide. Which one is the correct one? That is related to secondary. It's of course what? Primary. So the word or the correct word here is what? Primary. أساسي. Okay? Next. Production of biofuels from crops means using large pieces of land and therefore keeping less land for food production. I have mentioned here a word which is what? Large pieces of land. Okay? Large and large production. So what? Which word that means large, large quantities, large production, large pieces? It's what? Abundant. So it's the word abundant. Okay? We have only one word left that we have to use. People need to be careful with biofuel production and be aware of its bad effects on Earth's resources. We are talking about something what? That it's what? That it's worldwide. So we have to use the word worldwide. Okay? People worldwide need to be careful with biofuel production and be aware of its bad effects on Earth's resources. Okay? Let's move now to the exercise which is on page which is on page 36. We have two vocabulary exercises. Let's look at them. The first one tells us what? Look at the words in the table. Complete the table with a noun, adjective, or an adverb. Okay? So here we need to fill the table here with what? With adjective or adverb. طبعا هون I don't have an adverb. It's what? It's a verb. So you have to correct this word and write a verb. Okay? Because we have an adjective and a noun and a verb only. We don't have an adverb. So now, let's start with the first one. The words you have to find them where? In your student book or as a help. Okay? You can use the dictionary if you have, or an online dictionary to find out what the adjective or the noun or the verb of each word. Now, this one here, the first one is accountability. It's a noun. They tell us here that it doesn't have a verb, so we don't need to write it. Okay? What about the adjective? The adjective of accountability is what? It's accountable. So you have to write here accountable. I just want to make the page larger and start to write in it. So the first one is what? Accountable. Okay? What about the second one? We have consequence as a noun. What about the adjective? It's what? Consequent. Okay, write it down. It's consequent. Number 3, we have a noun which is maintenance. Maintenance. I have an adjective for it and I have a verb. The adjective of it is what? It is mentioned in your book, in your student book. So it's what? Maintained. Okay. What about the verb? It's maintain. Okay. Maintain and maintained. Write them down. Now, the third one we have 2 adjectives, 2 nouns, and 1 verb. Okay? Let's write first the other adjective of brilliant. It's what? It's reliable. Or, sorry, reliable. Okay? Now, as a noun, we have 2 nouns. We have brilliance or reliance, sorry, and it's what? Reliably. Yes. Reliability as another noun. Reliability. Write them down. Now, what about the verb? As a verb, we have rely. The 4th or the 5th word is comprehend. Comprehend is it's a verb. We need a noun and an adjective. Okay, but here it says that it doesn't have it doesn't have an adjective. So all we need to write what اللي هي عندكم noun, which is what? Comprehension. Okay? Comprehension. The last one is what? I have pollutant. And here I need an adjective and a verb. And there's also another noun. Let's start with the noun first. What is the other noun of it? It's what? Pollution. What about the verb? It's pollute. Okay? And the adjective, yes, it is what? Polluted or polluted. Okay? So it's polluted. Clear? Let's move to the last activity here, which is number 6. And here we have to choose the best word or phrase to complete these sentences, as mentioned in the text. Now, choose the best word or phrase to complete these sentences. Number 1, Earth has a finite or finished supply of fossil fuels, so we need to find alternative energy resources. What was the word that is mentioned as the word or the meaning of it's going to finish or will be finished? It's what? It's the word finite, of course. 2, your well-being or well-going is important. Well-being means health. Is it your health that is important or your progress is important? You should look after yourself. When I say here, you should look after yourself, تنتبه لنفسك. So we care about what? We have to care about our well-being or your well-being, okay? So it's what? Your health. 3, the electric circuits in the school are constantly maintained or routine maintenance. It's of course not routine maintenance. It must be what? Constantly maintained. 4, people must assume responsible or accountability for their actions. It must be what? It must be accountability. Okay? People are taking too many fish from the oceans and consequently or resulting there are not many left. No, it's what? Consequently. Okay? People are needing or reliant on fresh water. People are reliant on.